to the SOAR Show. I'm Sheila Lunsford.
I'm Rebecca John-Small-Mack.
And I'm Carrie Latham, and we are finally discussing depression. We talked about this in our first episode, but we kept putting it off because it's not anything we wanted to take lightly. In fact, we are here on location today at Branch's Counseling Center with the clinical director, Tracy Robinson. So we're thrilled to do that and bring you a show that we think will and hope will be valuable to you. So we're going to get into that, but right now it's coffee cup mug time with the SOAR Show. What's yours say?
My cup today says dream, when I first saw this cup, it immediately made me think of when we're children. We dream and we have this vivid imagination. As we grow into adults, life happens, reality and adulting checks in with us, and we forget to dream as adults. So this is a nice reminder to dream and not forget to do that.
I love that. You're right. We got Tracy in on this with us.
Yes.
Tracy, what you got?
Mine says blessed, and I'm feeling very blessed this holiday season. And I'm thankful to be on the show today. And also just even with depression and that sort of thing, you can still have blessings about knowing what triggers are and what symptoms are and what kinds of things you can do to make it feel better. And the neat thing about my mug is I won it at a fundraiser for ABC, which is the After Breast Cancer organization.
So you got blessed.
Yeah,
the mug. Blessed with a mug.
Yes.
Mine is a snapshot of Fort Lauderdale on A1A. That is one of my happiest places in the world. So we haven't had a whole lot of sunlight here lately, so this is my happy place.
Sunshine.
So yes, I'm a Fort Lauderdale, South Beach girl.
Oh, awesome. Well, my coffee mug says, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. We all know that saying. And I just feel like lemons get a bad rap because lemons are the happy yellow color.
Yes.
They're the happy yellow color, and they make your seafood taste delicious and your iced tea. And so chop up those lemons and don't give them a
They're awesome vitamin C
Yeah.
for your digestive system and anti-diuretic.
Yes, they're great in your water.
So don't make lemonade. Keep the lemons.
Yeah.
Do something positive with them.
Right, it's not a bad thing. So anyway, all right, so that's our coffee mug. Speaking of good things for your body, our shout out today and our t-shirt is from the Juice Bar. They are juices, smoothies, and more. And I think we'll probably talk a little bit about how your diet is good for your moods as well. So this is our t-shirt that we're giving away. It says plant, grow, juice, and repeat. We were going to give t-shirts away to our YouTube subscribers, but you're all private. We can't even see who you are. So we'll be looking to our Facebook followers to give those away. So stay tuned and come on and follow us and win t-shirts. All right. I'm going to go to Rebecca now so that we can get into this depression topic.
Yeah, the depression topic came up, I think, just a lot of us just sitting and talking at breakfast during our breakfast meeting, and we were talking about how it seems that the D word comes up more and more, and I know on the news, Prince Harry's come out openly and talked about being, battling with depression, and I think more even celebrities are talking about it openly, and it's not just this secret thing that people have to keep hidden, and it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. I think we also know we're right here between Thanksgiving and after Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I think
You're right. Don't confuse it with a weakness.
Right.
Yes.
It's not a weakness.
Absolutely.
It's a reality.
It's a reality.
And don't people experience seasonal depression quite
Yes.
often as well? So a good timing for us to cover this
And
topic.
with this being seasonal, with the lack of sunlight, and with with the holidays. Yeah. Do y'all see more clients?
We are so busy all the time, really. It's become, because it has become more acceptable and not as much as a stigma anymore, people are comfortable calling. I've had 15 people that I had to sign clients to just today, that from 3 o'clock yesterday until noon today. So people are calling in. We do have more seasonal affective disorders at this time, but depression all year round. Actually, after the holidays, we get busier because people have been with their families, and a lot of hurts happen at that time. So January is a really busy time for us.
That's interesting you say that, because you think that people get depressed because of maybe they've lost family and they're not with people, but you're right. Maybe being with family and then separating afterwards.
Right,
Yeah.
We do have a lot of people come in after the holidays.
And I want to applaud all those people that are calling you all
Absolutely.
and coming in and doing
Yes.
something.
And reaching out.
For reaching out.
For the
That's
real
key.
deal.
Yeah, and the thing is, no one is like, oh, she has diabetes, or she has asthma, oh, oh, she's got to call the doctor. And our brain is our most important organ of our whole body.
Right.
And so when our brain isn't working right, I just don't understand why that has to be a stigma that I'm going to take care of my brain when all the other organs are okay.
Oh, that's a
Makes
really good
sense.
point.
Yeah.
And you just said that too, that's important, I think, is that when a family member voices something, that you don't blow it off as something else. Why would you not encourage them
Absolutely.
to seek the right help they need?
I think part of that is just, we don't want our loved ones to be depressed.
That's true.
You know, and so like, oh, you're okay.
So it's denial for you too?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so we're made for relationships, and so to reach out, and if you have someone reaching out, you may be the first person that they've reached out to, and if you shut that down, they may just think, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Well, like, so if we're not the depressed one for the moment and someone's saying something to us, what are some signs we should look for that they're saying to us?
That's a great question. There's some pretty typical symptoms. You always want to think about sleep and appetite, and it's usually the opposite of what you're doing. So if you usually sleep too much, then you're not sleeping enough. If you usually don't sleep enough, then you're sleeping too much.
Okay.
If you usually have a pretty healthy appetite, then you lose your appetite. So you just kind of think of opposites. Concentration goes down, drive, energy, motivation goes down, your libido goes down, short-term memory, long-term memory is usually not an issue, but short-term memory, those kinds of things. Isolation, withdrawal, irritability. A lot of times people's depression comes out in irritability, like she's so snappy.
Well, I know something that, with us being in the Bible Belt too, and a lot of us have a really strong faith, and I know I've talked to some people that have felt like maybe they needed to talk to a counselor for depression, and a lot of times they were very frustrated because they couldn't pray it away. And I know that that's not a weakness either, and it doesn't mean
Absolutely.
God's not there.
Right,
But
sure.
it's just reaching out and.
Yes, and there's
And
several
talking to
examples of
somebody.
depression in the Bible. Job and David, there are lots of people that had depression and reached out. I mean, there's all kinds of tips for us if we learn about David and what he did to come out of his depression. And just like I absolutely believe God can heal it. I mean, he can heal cancer, he can heal diabetes, he can heal anything. He can heal depression as well, but sometimes he uses people in medicine to do that.
Do y'all battle with that at all, with any type of mild depression or?
Well, here's what you've said here now that speaks to me, is being really in tune with what you know about yourself.
Absolutely.
So you're talking about if you don't sleep enough, are you sleeping more?
Right.
If you sleep a little bit, are you sleeping more than you normally do? Or vice versa, or you're eating less than you normally do. So be really in tune with what you normally do, or you won't even recognize.
Right.
So for me, you're asking, here's what I know, is if I have like some gloominess or low points, I wouldn't say I have anything that's like a clinical depression, but I have low points. But I'm able, thank God, to recognize what's different with me.
Right.
Like I can say, why am I so gloomy? Oh, I haven't walked in 3 days.
Right,
I
sure.
normally walk every day.
Right.
Or, shoot, we've had cocktails 3 nights in a row. The alcohol
Right.
can do it to you.
Sure, that's all breast.
So, yeah, but I do have moments.
And if you think about, a good way to kind of think about it is if you have like 5 or more symptoms that last for more than 2 weeks, then that's usually more than gloominess.
Okay.
So my appetite's off, my concentration's off, my energy level's off, my short-term memory's off, my libido's different. I have those things and it lasts for 14 days or more, then you can think, okay, this is not just down in the dumps, there's probably something going on that I need to look into.
I probably can't snap myself.
Yeah, right.
And you know, so many people will not do that, though. They will just kind of wallow in that, unfortunately. But if they've got a backache or a neck pain or their ankle's broken,
Right.
they go to the doctor.
Absolutely.
And there's such a stigma attached to mental disorders
Right.
and mental health that it's kind of sad in a lot of ways because a lot of people don't want to admit that they have a problem. But
Right.
in my opinion, why would you not take care of that?
Absolutely.
Just as if you had a broken ankle.
Right,
You should
exactly.
seek a professional in that area and get the help that you need. There's nothing to be ashamed of.
Absolutely. And doing things like this is what's so helpful. Like the more education we have, the more we normalize it, if we can talk about it, and if you are going through that, just to say it, just like you would, I have asthma, that's why that keeps coming up. If I have an asthma attack, I don't feel embarrassed of not telling anybody. I get my inhaler and I take care of it.
Right.
Research shows, to kind of show your point, counselors are usually the 7th person a person will talk to about their issue, what's going on in them. They'll talk to their spouse, their mom, their bartender, their pastor, their small group. It usually goes through 7 people before they will come in for help. So that, I mean, that's quite a lot. Like, I don't talk to 7 people about my ankle before
Yeah,
That's
I go
true.
to an orthopedic doctor.
You go right to the professional.
Well, speaking of turning to the wrong people and turning to the wrong things, a lot of people get depressed at the holidays, and then they do drink,
Right.
and then that makes you more depressed.
Absolutely. It's
Right?
present. Yes.
People can get depressed because of their finances at
Right.
the holidays.
Yes.
And you know, that's what's really sad, is you get depressed because you think you can't buy people gifts when the last thing people probably want from you are gifts.
Right,
They just
right.
want your company.
Yes.
Isn't that sad?
Yes. So thinking about just the things that you said, budgeting and time management and setting clear expectations and saying no. Like, if you have 4 parties in one night, you don't have to go to them all. Send a
Right.
note saying, thanks so much for the invitation, I can't come. So keeping with your boundaries and taking care of yourself and making sure you're eating well. Those are all super
I
important.
saw in the news that a lot of families are having an open conversation deciding not to either draw names or not to swap gifts and just enjoy being together and
Yes.
just really having a good time as family.
Yes.
To take the pressure off everybody.
We actually, of course, my mother passed away in 2008, but years and years ago, when there were, small children, nieces and nephews, and then we were exchanging gifts with everybody, and it does get expensive, and it puts an undue burden financially on a lot of people. And we decided years ago, bring one gift, we'll do a dirty Santa, or we'll do no gifts at all. And it suddenly took all the pressure off, and the point of being together was the point of being together. It wasn't for the purpose of
Because
swapping
sometimes I think we need to ask
presents.
ourselves, do we need more crap?
No.
That's true. Exactly. Exactly. Listen, I'm spending all next week with family, and mostly all 20-year-olds. And I've already sent a message. You are our gift. You are our gift. Oh my gosh. To everything they would stress over not having money to buy a gift. I mean, they're all in school and entry-level jobs. And then there's elderly people with the same thing.
That's right.
So yeah, just get the gift thing off the
Right.
table.
Yes. We're made for relationships, so that's what's important.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Yeah, so obviously there's different levels of depression.
Right,
So
sure.
I guess you have people come and maybe they just needed a conversation with you for the day. Or
Mhm.
then there's those who maybe need
Yeah.
long-term visits or something.
Sure. We have people that come in and will just come in for a few visits just to get some kind of more like life coaching, I would say.
Yeah.
And then there are people that have depression that need to learn what their triggers are. They need to learn how to treat their symptoms, how to manage it, just how to take care of themselves well. And then there are people that need that plus medication, like the chemicals in their brain aren't working right.
Yeah.
And so they need to take some medication. 80% of people that take medicine and do counseling get better quicker than any other group and stay better longer than any other group.
I know that one of the things we talked about that Branches does is B12 shots.
Yes.
Which, B12, is natural. It's a water-soluble vitamin, and 1/4 of all depression can be cured by B12 shots, but obviously that's regulated by counselor and doctor.
Right, yes,
Obviously,
yes.
but again, those are other things that are out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that is
Really
good
good,
stuff.
really
I
good
mean,
stuff.
yeah, I mean, just to remember, and also too, I mean, these are just, I'm not educated in anything to do with it, but just through life experience, it's staying busy, it's working,
Right.
being employed.
Yes.
There's some people who get depressed and then they go sit in a house for 6 months. How in the world do you think you're going to come out of it doing
Right.
that? It's forcing yourself, I think, just like we have to force ourselves to maybe eat the right foods or, whatever it is. I think you have to get up and say, I know that it makes sense for me to go to the grocery store today, to be around people,
Yes.
to go meet somebody for lunch, right?
You've got to make a plan for yourself.
You have
You
to.
have to advocate for yourself, and sometimes the plan is even just going to the mailbox and getting the mail. I may not be able to go to lunch with somebody, but I can walk down the driveway and get my mail that day and walk back in and get outside.
So those baby steps.
Yes, right.
To overcoming.
Yes,
the
reasonable
boundaries.
expectations for wherever your depression is, like you said, the different levels.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think too, if your sadness would come, I think this, because I've lost plenty of people in my life, mother, father, brother, sister-in-law. I think that if your sadness is coming from a loss of traditions and people you do things with, then start creating new traditions with the people you do have in your
Right,
life.
sure.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely, and you can honor those people with your new traditions.
That's true.
Mhm.
Very true.
Yeah, that's excellent.
You're gonna bring that's Tracy, thank you so much for
Thank
all
you.
of
I'm
that.
just going to add just a couple things. We talked about B12, and you can take B12, go to your health food store, and you can take it also. It's a mood balancer, in case you're wondering exactly what it does. My challenge for you, which are some healthy ways and research-based ways that can actually help with mild depression, not clinically depressed or severe depressed, but mild depression, and I know myself, I can tell a difference when I don't take these things. The first one is omega-3s. Which is absolutely a miracle for your brain. We want to have healthy brains, just like what you were talking about earlier, and making sure that you buy one that is very, very high in EPA, EHA, I wrote it down, sorry. I had to cheat on this one. EPA, because I didn't want to get that wrong, so it needs to be very high in EPA. The second thing is that people don't understand with healthy brains is your gut health and your tummy health. And 80 to 90% actually of the serotonin, which is so healthy for your brain, it's made in your tummy through your nerve cells. So again, a good probiotic. So sorry I had to cheat on that one, but yeah, so here we go. Your B12, your B vitamins, and your probiotic for your healthy tummy, and your for your brain. Keep that brain healthy with your omega-3s.
There's a great cookbook called Dopamine for Dinner, and it has
Dopamine for dinner.
Yes, and it tells you what recipes to eat for what time of the day to help with depression. It's really
Okay.
good.
Oh,
I like that.
Good to know.
That dopamine. I was just reading an article or listening to someone speak on Facebook. This is the one that I keep telling y'all to look at. It's on my Facebook page, where he's talking about the dopamine, and I think I'm using the right word there, is what you actually feel when people click likes on your Facebook
Oh, yeah,
page.
that's
Yes,
right.
it's
Yeah.
feel good.
Yep.
And that is why people get so caught up in social media, is because the more they see that you like their picture, or someone sent you a text message. He was saying that people even just at night, if they're lonely, they'll start texting hi, hi, hi to a million people just so someone will text them back. To get that dopamine.
Right, we talked about this in an earlier episode. If people aren't clicking enough likes, then dadgummit, get off of social media.
Yeah, that's
for a while.
right.
Take a little,
Yes.
a little hurt.
Yeah, and it sounds
Except
like
for the source.
the dopamine you can get from food, and
Yes,
vitamins, and
right.
medicine. You don't need it from
That's
somebody
right,
else.
you don't need it from social media.
Yeah. I know. And and that's the thing too, is when you're depressed or you feel alone or social media is not answering you back, just stop and think how wonderful your life is, and that God made you for a reason, and you're not getting left out. Just because someone's posted they got a promotion, or someone posted they got engaged, you got a story too that's coming. Don't start getting caught up that everybody got something you didn't.
That
The
sounds
boat
like-
ain't leaving you behind.
That sounds like a future SOAR topic.
Yeah, probably so.
I like
think
your
so, too.
thinking.
All right, well, we are going to do a quote.
Yes.
Sheila always leaves us with a great quote.
Absolutely. I'm going to have to cheat too. Let me log back in here. One moment. Fred Rogers actually said this, and I love this quote. If you could only sense how important you are to the lives of those you meet, how important you can be to the people you may never even dream of. There's something of yourself that you leave at every meeting with another person. And I think we take that for granted a lot of times, and you just never know. Even if you're going in the store at Kohl's through the door and you give someone a smile, that smile could mean everything to that person. So I love that quote. I hope everybody else does too.
And I want to say one little thing too here really quick, speaking of social media. Don't assume people aren't looking and following you, because it's so interesting with us as the SOAR show, when maybe our show didn't get 50 likes that week, how many people we all run into around town that are saying, oh, your show's amazing, I'm following you. And so you realize that, and not that that's hugely important, but what I'm saying is, don't wait for a physical or a verbal confirmation that you're important.
That's right.
You are. You're making a
Because you are
difference.
important.
Just
That
show
goes
up.
back to your first episode on self-talk.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
you say really matters.
It really does. Self-talk is critical. It'll make you or break you.
Yeah. And what you speak over others does too.
Yes, it
It
does.
takes like 7 positive statements to take away 1 negative. That's right.
Yeah. So show up with your limits and make life grand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the SOAR show, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Great job.
Branches Counseling Center, they're here in Murfreesboro, they got a lot of locations. Do you want to tell them how to reach you if?
Yeah, sure. We've got 5 locations. We have 4 in Tennessee and 1 in Florida. And you're welcome to go on our website at branchescounselingcenter.com, or you can call our office.
Perfect.
That's it. Okay, that's the SOAR show.
Thank you, Tracy.
Till next time.
Till next time.
SOAR.